I was going to wait for this video to be finished before showing anything or talking about it, but I just can't wait any longer. I'm scratching at my neck about this. The cup runneth over on giggles. I keep laughing to myself about it, so I just want to show you it, at least a little bit from it. A few days ago, my friends and I thought it would be a banger idea to go to a comedy club and perform a stand-up routine, a nice tight five. But we wrote each other's material. We drew names out of a box, and we would write for whoever we got. Kind of like Secret Santa, but instead of giving a gift, we're just giving pure fucking cringe. It kind of became a competition to see who could make the worst stand-up routine that would have to be performed by the person you got from the box in front of an audience. A live audience. And I was blessed. I got Matt. And I knew I could do something diabolical. I think I created one of the worst stand-up routines most of you have ever seen. This shit is so bad, Amy Schumer's probably gonna steal a few jokes from it, and I just need to show you it. So I'm sorry for like the misleading thumbnail here because my section of this isn't done yet. The full video will be complete on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern and go up on the other channel. But Matt's section I do have, and I want to show you it and give you a little director's commentary about the material.
Damn! Woo! How's everybody feeling tonight? That was pathetic. How's everybody feeling tonight? Oh. I said, how's everybody feeling tonight? That's better.
This was filmed at noon on a Monday. Prime time for aspiring comics. A little matinee stand-up. And that wasn't even on purpose, by the way. I wrote this before I knew when and where we'd be performing our stand-up, so I'd already wrote in, how's everyone feeling tonight? And it just so happened that it's fucking first thing in the morning, so that was great. Now, the idea behind it was, I wanted Matt to come out with bombastic energy. That was actually my direction in the script. I wanted to come out there hooting and hollering, getting people fired up, hitting them with some of these, a little dozy-do. I wrote in a few dabs, just really rancid, foul energy. If I had the option, I would have also had a theme song play like the WWE, and it would have been the fucking Harlem Shake I'd have him try and start for the crowd. I wanted this to just be off the rails, off rip. And kudos to Matt because he sent it. That was 110% out there. Now I do want to mention that I did make a request of the audience to do their best not to laugh during his performance. I was pretty confident that most people wouldn't be laughing anyway, but I just wanted to be super safe because I wanted this to be as brutal as possible, which I know is kind of evil, but god damn it, the result is a masterpiece.
So my name's Nat. I'm from Tampa. Yeah. Whew. Tampa! Tampa! Damn. Oh, fuck. All right. I'm gonna put some smiles on your faces tonight, even though you guys aren't really feeling into it just yet. Let me get a little movement here. So I've been working on some new material. No pity laughs, please. It's all fucking hilarious, though. Okay. Okay.
The audience didn't laugh even a little bit, not even like a small sympathy chuckle. The little giggling you can hear is for me, Aaron, and Chase going ballistic. Because what I wrote in the script is that Matt would be doing silly faces, and he had to turn around and then turn back around real quick with a silly face. I wanted to channel like that TikTok Zoomer humor shit, and the audience did not feel that even a little bit. I took a little glance around the crowd. It was worse than a funeral. I know I had requested they do their best not to laugh, but there wasn't even like the slightest urge to laugh. Like, it was very clear that this material, even if not given that direction, would have elicited not even a single chuckle or a smirk. Now, since I wrote this before I saw the venue and all of that, I didn't know we'd have access to a stool. I would have 100% written in some classic Joe Rogan stool humping. I didn't know the tools we'd have at our disposal. I didn't know the equipment we'd be working with, so unfortunately a huge missed opportunity here for some stool fucking. That probably would have sent the crowd into gut-busting fits of laughter. Like, they would have been sounding like hyenas out there with how hysterical that would have been. But unfortunately I didn't know, so it's not in there. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know now. Don't expect any stool humping.
Oh, this one's gonna kill. Give me 1 sec. I have some props with me. I think you all can see this just fine. Okay. Sorry, I have to work with 2 phones here. All right, so you know the old story. They say you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. But you teach a man to fish and he eats for a lifetime. Those idiots never met my girlfriend. That pussy's so juicy it'd feed you for 2 lifetimes.
I can't even fucking watch it back without laughing. It was so beautifully painful. So, let me explain a little bit about this little humdinger here. So, I thought prop comedy would slay. I thought that'd be the secret sauce here, the chemical X for the routine to really flourish. Except I didn't have access to any good props, so instead I did the worst possible idea, which was tell Matt to cue up a video of the goat screaming sound meme. So instead of it being like a prop, it was more like a soundboard to complement some of the worst written jokes I could think of. So like the juicy pussy one. Also worth noting, Matt has a wife, and she was there. So for this bit, it was now more than just me, Aaron, and Chase degenerately laughing at this. Now a couple other people were. Matt's wife, Ryan, Caleb, Zach, and Drew were now starting to laugh at how awful this routine was. It's my magnum opus of cringe coming to fruition, and we're still just in the beginning, the first act.
Wow, all right. Sorry to my wife in the crowd. Oh, sorry, a different video started. I'm new to this. Oh, God, I'm gonna skip that part. Speaking of my girlfriend, she said she was tired of my indecisiveness. So I told her I decided to leave. It won't play again. I fucking hate it here. Let me pull it back up. Sorry.
You can see panic start to wash over his entire soul here. This is a war zone now, and Matt's in the center of the artillery shells of cringe. The only people laughing even a little bit were us. I honestly thought for a moment someone might start heckling him. And I think if someone did do that, Matt's heart would have stopped right there on stage. We would have had to take him out in a stretcher. Oh man. So he skipped a lot of jokes. I was actually going to really milk the shit out of the goat screaming sound effects. I wrote like a few other jokes that would end with the goat scream. So like one of them was, here, I still have it written down. I'll just read one verbatim because I mean, they're not exactly the, top shelf material here, but damn it, I would have loved to see him performed. So one of them that he obviously didn't say, I tried to masturbate to VR porn, but I wasn't ready to actually feel like I was in the scene. So when the girl squirted, it acted like a jump scare, had me going, goat scream. What I didn't plan for was how difficult it would be for Matt to use technology up there. I thought he'd be able to just hit rewind whenever he needed to, but it turns out he had autoplay on, and it went to an Elijah Wood documentary, which it threw everything out of whack. But I had a couple more jokes like that would be goat scream sound effect as the punchline. It was going to be putrid. I also had a couple scrapped ideas from the script. I was going to have a ventriloquism segment in there, but since I couldn't find props, I obviously couldn't find a ventriloquism dummy. But damn, I'm still so happy with how all of it had turned out.
All right. Okay. So I'm starting to think these aren't going over very well, so we're going to go back to the classics.
Oh my God.
You guys hearing that? Okay. All right. Sir, I am going to read your mind. You thinking of something? No, I don't got it.
There's a lot to unpack in this material here. There's a lot of nuance to it. So, after the goat screams, he abandoned that quest line. He went to another joke that I wrote in there where I acknowledged in the script, hey, I guess this material's not going over well, fully anticipating a normal audience would hate it. So, I planned for the future here. So then I had him say, time to go back to the classics, and I wanted him to start armpit farting for a while. But he couldn't get any good toots going from the old pits. So he abandoned that really quick too. But I had him going around the stage doing this for a little bit and then transitioning into crowd work. So I wanted to obviously get the audience involved. I wanted him to directly interact with them. And the crowd work, I didn't have a whole lot for, so I went for the mind reader angle. And I actually thought he did a really good job of bringing that one to life. That's pretty much exactly how I scripted it.
I can do impressions, though. Foo Fighters, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding and you say to me that my silly faces aren't funny. Okay, that's all my time. I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Charlie, I fucking hate you.
A brilliant finale, a wonderful conclusion. I had envisioned the routine taking close to 4 to 5 minutes, but I think as it became very clear that the audience wasn't really laughing at the jokes, Matt started to speed run through the material, missing a couple very important elements to it. But overall, what an incredible performance from Matt, huh? Give it up for Matt. The stand-up career is looking promising, I must say. The way he was able to fully commit to it, I think, is nothing shy of extraordinary. And I think the audience, while they may not have, loved it in the moment, they'll look back on it fondly as a core memory. Damn. So this is how bad stand-up can get. I was there for it. And that means something. That's special. But I'll tell you what, sports fans, I certainly loved it.
Ooh, Tampa! Tampa! Damn. Oh, fuck. All right. Wow. All right. Sorry to my wife in the crowd. Oh, sorry, a different video started. I'm new to this. Oh, God. I'm going to skip that part. Speaking of my girlfriend.
So yeah, the full video for all of our performances, including mine, will be up by Friday at 8 p.m. EST on the other channel, but I had to show you this one. This one I still keep laughing about. I'm very proud of how Matt brought the material to life. I only wish I had done more. I feel like I could have utilized props more had I known there was a stool. There was a lot of notes I could have taken from Joe Rogan with the stool. Like, there's definitely room for improvement. Maybe we do it again in the future, who knows, but it was a lot of fun. That's about it. So yeah. No doubt the first thing that pops into your mind when you think of me is fashion. I really am one of the most probably well-dressed people on the internet. I'm kind of a fashion icon, I would say. And it's nice to finally be recognized for my contributions in that industry because Matt and myself were invited to do a fashion shoot catwalk for charity. And we said, absolutely, you bet your sweet Bippy will be there. I'll see you tomorrow. And by that I mean, I'll see you in 21 hours because I'm afraid of flying. So it was a nice, casual, serene 21-hour road trip. And it felt even better when I got damn near alcohol poisoning on the way home and was uncontrollably sobbing in the backseat, worried about being drunk forever. But the point is, we went to this fashion walk for a company called David Allen. We were supposed to be modeling suits, and we thought, well, we could do more than that. So we came up with one of the most foul, rancid routines we could cook up and decided to let it rip. We didn't really tell them too much about what we were doing. I think they expected us to just walk it, but we wanted to, fucking shut that shit down. We wanted to go hog wild with it. So there was quite a few people there that made it clear we had no business being amongst them. Like Wiz Khalifa was one of the people there. And man, did we make incredible fools out of ourselves. I couldn't be more proud. So we did a fucking goofy vlog style video going through this entire journey, as well as the performance, of course. So I'm just gonna let that whole thing play.
Hey.
Oh, you moved away. My jump scare didn't work.
Wow, we're a vlog channel now.
Give us a room tour.
Yeah, so this is where all the magic happens. This is my coffee machine.
Nice.
Huge.
Haven't used it yet. Got a fridge.
Mm-hmm.
2 beds. I sleep on that one. This one's my dresser.
Huge.
That's it. Just see the top of yours through here, and it's fucking wild.
This would be cool. I don't wear any suits ever.
Oh.
Oh wow. That actually does look like the infernal cape from RuneScape.
Wait, can you bring it over here? I can't quite see the color on here because of the blue light. Over here. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
That's actually wild.
That is legitimately the exact same texture as the infernal cape.
Yeah. So
I like
they
that.
gave us black shirts with red buttons.
Cool.
And damn, that's crazy.
Now let's see your fit.
Black shirt, red buttons. Ooh, black tux with red accents.
Whoa.
Kind of nice.
And then there's my pants, baby. Those pants go fucking hard.
Those pants are fucking crazy.
We're gonna
if you combine the two of these, you make like a sacred treasure.
We're gonna go. No, really, the fusion hoe dance at the end. The world's not ready for what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
it's gonna be disgusting.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome.
Oh my god!
We're vlogging, baby.
What's Antifa doing here?
Those blue hairs are infiltrating our hotels now. We do have to go over what our.
I was gonna say you guys should go to the gym
Mhm.
and then like shower or whatever, do your thing, and then before you guys are ready to get dressed and go, you guys should do some rehearsals and we'll film it.
Yeah, that's a good
Agreed.
idea. The longer you spend getting in there, the better. You have to let them like marinate on it.
Yeah, and I'll do a few of these. Like,
That's perfect.
I'm working on it.
And then strike some like mean poses. Yep, that's good.
What are you gonna be doing?
Oh, we didn't get rose petals.
Well, I'm not
shit, we
climbing
got
on
to.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll do
Yeah, well,
leave me a little air hole so I don't die.
Right, no, you gotta.
That's good too, because I can do a little bye.
20 or
I'm
something.
excited for you to try to wheel them out and the handle just rips straight off.
Yeah, and then I'll just start pushing. I'll call in security. I'll be like, help.
So lifting time?
Lifting time.
Lifting time.
So initially we wanted to cook up like an unreasonably long routine, so that way it just kind of like puts the brakes on the whole thing, so everyone has to sit there and stew on whatever disgusting creation we came up with. One of our initial ideas was to use a body bag, like we ended up doing with a hockey bag. We wheel me out, I pop out, and then I also come out with a chess board, and I set up an entire chess game that Matt and I just play against each other in real time. And then eventually someone wins, we flip the board, then we start hitting poses again. All in all, it would have been like a 10-minute routine. Just some like really stupid shit that we were going to do here, but we decided to have a little mercy and make it a bit more brief, though it was still longer than actually every single other performance. I'll use performance lightly because they didn't pull out all the stops like we did. We had props, we had posing training, like we went all out for this.
Hey.
Just getting ready for the prom.
Yep.
I
like your pants.
Thank you. Do they look good?
They do look good.
Wow.
Okay.
Like a looser fun. Jesus.
I'm trying to get that hair tie out. Okay, I'm trying to. Your hair is just so fucking long. You're okay. You're okay.
You're hurting me. What the fuck? What are you doing back there?
I'm trying to put it in a bun, but you just have so much hair.
You're like beating the devil out of it.
This is Charlie's first time in a button-up.
Charlie, where's button up? I feel like we're getting ready for like a bar mitzvah.
Help!
Oh my god, Charlie. Let me find another hair tie.
We had black ones.
I have to go to my room and grab the black
Yeah,
ones.
I just put these on for now.
Just so that hopefully it has something to like hold on to. Yeah, don't breathe it in.
Take a big huff.
You can't
Where
breathe
did
for the
that
rest of the night, no?
Where'd that brush go? Here.
This is my room. This is where I sleep.
You guys are the most ridiculous nicest human beings in the world.
I can't. Oh yeah, that's very. Oh yeah, that's very continental. Okay.
Yeah.
I fuck with that.
Continent.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
That's a John Wick reference. You wouldn't get it.
I know, I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
I'll just do one side. I think. Asymmetry is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's Superman.
Like that?
Yeah.
Good?
That's fine.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay.
All right. I'm ready. That's fine, right? I don't need two.
Oh, you look beautiful.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. All right. I'm not crawling in that right now. That'll be a game time thing because once I get in, that's the only time I'm
If
in
you're
there.
not getting in it right now, here's what I want.
Well, we have to double check that you can actually get in.
I can promise you, but it'll only be one time because something's gonna give. These seams are already crying out in agony,
Yeah, but if that happens, you will then have to come out of the bag and be on the runway.
which is fine. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd rather have it ripped there than here.
Okay.
Here, imagine this. I've dragged you down the aisle.
Okay.
Down the catwalk.
Yep, I'm here.
There we are.
Boom. We can do that.
We can do that.
Let's go. We can do this. This routine is good.
Amazing.
Yeah! I just ripped my pants!
I think Emma's probably right though. It's probably a little on the longer side of things, so we'll just have to compete with other.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, why do you have a hockey bag?
They just don't understand us.
Yeah.
That little interview I did right there, I don't know where it aired, but I promise you, it was probably the most uncomfortable moments of television anyone had ever seen. Because I did a bad job. And I couldn't be happier about it, actually. I think it really played into the entire feel, the vibe we were going for. And I couldn't be happier about it. The entire time, my buttons were unbuttoned and my zipper was down, so I might have been hanging hog. I'm really not sure. I didn't notice until I got inside to use the bathroom where I was like, yep, that was open the whole time. So, very cool interview. If television was blessed with that, you're welcome. If you saw it on like your local news station or wherever it was. But yeah, basically the routine we came up with was a lot smaller than our initial scope. We wanted to do a whole kit and caboodle here. Blue steel, out the wazoo, maybe a magnum or two, and then of course the chessboard and a lot of other wacky props and things, but we decided not to. We were even going to hire like a birthday party magician to come out there with us to do like juggling and pull quarters from behind our ear. But yeah, still very proud of this routine and the way it went through.
I'm good. No, I'm getting you guys walking in.
Oh, of course.
The camera.
Yeah. How was that? What did they ask you? I couldn't hear.
They were asking what kind of performance we're doing, and I told them, of course, it's a gothic contemporary piece inspired by some of Kabuki Theater's work.
They also said there's a lot of strife in the world. Charlie, a lot of people are saying you're the only guy who can fix it.
Yeah. Naturally.
We said we'll save that for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tonight's about fashion.
I hope you know this umbrella is not actually covering me at all. You don't respect me. Thank you so much.
Alright, so I'm just gonna have these.
Holy shit!
He's still performing.
You got a couple minutes. Are you guys having fun?
Oh, we're having fun. Are you having fun?
I'm having fun.
I want to see the cookie.
Very cool.
Leave your breathing hole by your head.
Make some noise for Matt Phillips and Charles White!
How'd that go? It felt exactly how we drew it up.
Except over the bag.
Yeah, the bag was right in the way.
I think you guys enjoyed it.
That was good?
They really liked the reveal of Carly.
Yeah, that was good. The specifications of the catwalk were different than what they told us. So.
We were working under old diagrams, so
We had to adapt on the fly. I'm sweating my ass off. Oh my god. Hey, come on. Let's go get a
You guys look
fucking
great.
drink.
Let's go get a drink.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up.
Supposed to leave, what, 5 hours ago? 4 hours ago?
It has been 12 hours, and I am still fucking wasted. Like, I feel like I am still at a club right now.
We should give a little update on how the drive went yesterday.
Pretty smooth. I think I maintained composure pretty well for the most part. You guys probably didn't even know how bad I was.
No
And,
tears were shed.
Yeah.
Not yours, not mine.
Yeah. So, I don't think I stopped being drunk until we got here at like 9 p.m. and I took a shower. But yeah, I remember crying a lot in the car. A couple weeks ago, I was the side character in some internet drama, though it wasn't exactly drama, it was more just emotional shit flinging, and it all stemmed from a video I made called I've Never Seen Something This Horrible. The video is just me joking about an event that a YouTuber held called a Super Roast Battle, where it was just a comedy special with people insulting each other. And the title of this video is still accurate. I don't think I will ever see something this bad again. I could watch my grandfather get hit by a train right in front of me, and I still wouldn't be as traumatized by that as I was watching this stand-up special. Dunking your own head into a bucket of hydrochloric acid would be less painful than watching that Super Roast Battle. Being sentenced to the guillotine is more humane than being sentenced to watch that entire Super Roast Battle segment. It's bad. It's horrible. Like, and the video title still is 100% accurate. But that's not the point. I made that video joking about it, and the YouTuber that held it, Def Noodles, was a little upset about it. Though I think ultimately Def Noodles, as well as the community, realized it's not that big of a deal. You know, cringe isn't the ultimate sin. It's not a huge issue. You know, it's not a crime to hold a bad comedy night, but you know what is a crime? Assault. And that happened last night at Def Noodle's most recent Super Roast Battle. At first I thought this was staged, because it looks like something straight out of the WWE. I was half expecting Stone Cold Steve Austin to come out with a beer and a chair and hit Def Noodles in the back with it. But it wasn't. This is as raw as it gets. Def Noodles truly did blast through the door like the Kool-Aid Man and shoved this guy into the crowd. Now I don't know who the guy is on stage, and I also don't know what they're chanting. It's like a fucking Yanny and Laurel situation here. I really hear a bunch of different things. At first, I thought they were chanting ringworm, and I started connecting dots and doing some mental gymnastics to figure out how the fuck that made sense. So I thought he was up there accusing Def Noodles of having a ringworm, and everyone started chanting ringworm. But then I started like really trying to digest it like a fucking audio engineer trying to get into the weeds of it, and then I kept hearing rebar. And then that didn't make any sense to me either, because what, are they all fans of like construction? Why would they be chanting about rebar? So I then turned to the comment section to figure out if anyone knew what they were saying. And it turns out he was chanting Red Bar, which is apparently a show that makes fun of Def Noodles sometime. So he was getting the crowd to turn against Def Noodles by chanting Red Bar, I think. That's the leading theory here, but I'm not 100% sure because I can't quite tell what he was saying. Also, this was filmed on a phone, but the whole event was live streamed yet again, and on the live stream, this whole section was muted. So that's of absolutely no value right now, but it does give us a really cool cinematic angle for the push. So we've got the bird's eye view here, and you can see there was a lot of power and anger behind that push on an unsuspecting guy on stage. Again, I don't know the history between this guy and Def Noodles, but apparently the reason he pushed them is because that guy, whose name is Salvo, went to the show to harass the crowd and interrupt the show. He also encourages fans to fight Def Noodles fans in the crowd. and Def Noodles retweeted that explanation with the truth. So if this account is to be believed, then the guy went there with the sole intention of causing a bit of a ruckus, a little pandemonium and chaos. Now, I think no matter what, it's a big overreaction from Def Noodles here. Unless, of course, there was an imminent threat where the guy was on stage talking about he's going to start throwing hands with everyone in the front row or something, or making, like, legitimate threats to the crowd. Couldn't tell you, but it does seem like a massive overreaction from Def Noodles here. He pushes him from behind and then hides behind his friends to keep the other guy off of him, which I think is pretty lame. If you're going to start some shit, you gotta finish that shit. You know, it's like vegetables. You gotta finish your plate. You can't just take a bite. If you're going to push this guy and he's ready to respond, now it's on you to employ the knight's honor, you know, the code of conduct. You have started this fight, now it is your time to engage in it. I don't like when someone does that and then immediately hides behind the muscle. So yeah, I do think that's pretty cowardly. However, I also don't think that this push is grounds for Def Noodles to be locked up, thrown in the slammer, or sued or anything. Yes, it is by definition assault, but I've always said this, and I feel very strongly about it, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but I've always believed if you're going to go somewhere just to be a douchebag and try and instigate like a confrontation or just be like a general menace, then you shouldn't be surprised when somebody fights back. I've always said this about pranksters, for instance, where a prankster's main shtick is, I'm gonna go step on someone's nice shoes or, you know, do something to actually, like, cause distress to someone else. You should not be surprised if somebody fights back. You asked for it. This is your fault. This is always mainly applied to pranksters for me because a lot of the pranksters will go to like unsuspecting people out in society and like talk about beating their ass or like threatening them as part of their joke. And I've just always believed that they have the right to now do something about that. Like, you have threatened them, now I think they should have every right to shove you away or whatever afterwards. Now, why am I mentioning this? Because I actually don't believe that this applies to Def Noodles here at all. He wasn't the one being threatened or in any immediate danger, and if he felt like the audience was in danger, he should have called security to handle the situation instead of trying to take it into his own hands like Batman, like some kind of fucking vigilante. You know, this is a situation where he should have relied on the professionals that were there. Apparently, there was security there, so he should have had them do their job and take this guy away if he felt like he was a danger to the crowd. But he didn't. He came up and shoved him from behind, and I don't think there's any way for him to really justify that and come out looking good from it. However, the reason why I just mentioned my perspective on, like, pranksters bringing it upon themselves when someone lashes out in response, the reason I mentioned that is because I feel like the guy here, I think his name is Salvo, he should have absolutely no grounds to try and be like this moral authority about how Def Noodles assaulted him and he's a victim or he's going to press charges or this and that. I don't know if he's trying that, but I just want to make it clear, if he does try that shit, I'll have zero respect for him. He came there with the intention of causing a commotion, you know, a big hoopla, trying to get a rise out of Def Noodles or the crowd, and that's exactly what he got, and he got pushed for it. This is, of course, all assuming that Def Noodles' account of the situation is the correct one. We don't have the audio outside of, like, this short video to confirm anything, so all we can rely on is witness accounts of the fucking poor souls that actually went to Super Roast Battle 2. We can only rely on what they were unfortunately cursed to see and hear. So if this is an accurate description, then his goal was to just be a big asshole and ruin the event. And he accomplished his goal and got pushed for it. So just leave it at that. He got pushed and then left. He got taken out of the venue. I just don't think you can really act surprised when something like this happens, when you go there with the intention of causing a big scene and making people mad. Like, this is so shocking when you went there to be an asshole, a douchebag, and then you got pushed for it, right? I don't think he's going to do anything like that, but I keep seeing this take float around about how he needs to press charges now and have Def Noodles thrown in prison for it. I think that's an equally large overreaction because it's not like this is just some innocent angel that got pushed. According to the eyewitness accounts, his whole goal was to get this kind of situation to unfold, and that's exactly what happened. So I think what should have happened after the push is Def Noodles then calls off his friends, and then they square up like actual warriors and just duke it out. You know, they just fucking squash it right then and there, just a little pugilistic fisticuffs, old-fashioned, just a real wholesome, action-packed finale. Like, that's how they settle it. But anyway, the second Super Roast Battle was less of a comedy event and more of just like a fight club, I guess. So, just getting wilder and wilder. So yeah, anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. About once a year, I do my own little YouTube rewind where I sit alone and watch the worst stand-up comedy videos on YouTube. I just marathon them because I get some kind of sick pleasure from watching these absolute train wrecks. Over the last year or so, I've shared a couple of my favorites with you all, such as the infamous biceps comedian that looks like Sid from Toy Story, and then the city council stand-up comedian. And while those two are great, timeless classics, there's always been one that I've kept to myself for fear of it being too powerful, just too much for the ordinary person to handle. Human beings weren't really meant to handle this level of cringe, but this holiday season I decided I'll give you the gift of knowledge, and I'll show you what the worst stand-up comedy I've ever seen is. And it's actually near and dear to my boners because I've known about this for about a decade now. It was posted in 2011 and I found it shortly thereafter because it's in Florida. It's in my own backyard. So it holds a very special place to me, and I hope you all appreciate it. It's around 7.5 minutes, but I promise you it's gonna feel like an eternity. This is gonna be the longest 7.5 minutes of your entire fucking life. So as the camera panned around, you can see that it's a sold-out crowd here tonight. Everyone lined up and bought tickets to see this man perform. This is an open mic night at a comedy club, and this guy's taking full advantage of it. Now, in his defense, he has had a couple of booze. He's been butt-chugging some beer a little bit tonight, so he's feeling it a little bit, but there's really no excuse for how awful this routine you're about to hear is. In stand-up comedy, what he's doing here is called crowd work. He's bantering with the audience, getting them involved in his comedy, you know. It's just a little class participation, and they're all having a hoot and a holler. He's doing a great time here. So he just picks out some guy and starts calling him gay. Says he's gayer than a $3 bill. Whatever that means. That sounds like something someone would have said during the Great Depression or some shit, or like the Prohibition era. Like, I don't even understand like what the fuck it means. But anyway, there's only like 5 people at this bar, and he decided to make an enemy out of one of them. So he's already got 20% of the crowd against him right from the get-go. And unfortunately, the recording's a little late, so I would be very interested to know what was even happening before this that made the guy start recording. It must have been a fucking disaster. He went on stage to fight. Like, he didn't even go up there and start with jokes. The first thing he went up there and said is that guy over there is gay, like a $3 bill. And now it's just been him on the defensive the entire time. It's like he just went on the Roast Me subreddit just to get mad when people start roasting him for being shitty. This is the kind of video that would haunt someone for their entire life. You know when you lie awake at night just thinking of embarrassing shit you did and it makes it hard to fall asleep for a little while? Imagine this is something that you're thinking about. I can only pray that this guy was blackout drunk when this happened, so he just doesn't remember it at all. Otherwise, he probably hasn't slept for a single minute since this herpes joke didn't stick the landing. And that is yet again another audience member he has made an enemy of for life. It feels like he has friends here because he keeps mentioning people's names, so he obviously knows people here. They have to be the worst friends of all time to let him go up here and do this in front of other human beings. Like, they should have just immediately, like, shuffled him off stage like the Men in Black, abduct him. Just get him the fuck out of there before it got worse. The second he dropped that herpes line, his friends should have been storming the stage to get him out, breaking up his performance like this. But I just feel like if you watch this all in, like, a single runtime, you get cursed. It's like straight out of The Ring. Like, you know, you watch that VHS tape and then you die, like, later. That's what happens with his stand-up routine. You watch it all in one sitting and then your wife leaves you and you go straight to hell or some shit. I don't even know what's going on here. He's not even telling jokes anymore. It just feels like he's treating it like a therapy session. You know, he's like, hey, I was married once. It didn't work out well. Anyone have any advice? Man. So the moral of his story, like the breakdown of his whole stand-up routine is women fucking suck. Jesus Christ. Like, what the fuck is even going on here, man? It's not even like a stand-up routine. He's treating it like a shitty TED Talk. Ladies, I'm surprised there weren't sodden panties being tossed from the crowd at him. They must just not have heard what he said. He said he's looking to have unprotected sex at bars that he goes to. He's at a bar. So, come on, ladies, form an orderly queue in front of the stage and wait your turn here.
No, but I see you're wearing a wedding ring. Are you actually married?
Yeah.
Or do you just do that to pick up women?
You're not gonna hurt my feelings. It's not gonna work.
I can't imagine I can.
Nope.
I mean, unless I was the teller at fucking KFC saying you can't have the double stacker with extra cheese. Oh, I'm thinking on my feet even though I've been drinking.
You're good, man.
Hours. Shit.
Don't ruin the set. You're doing good.
Now, this is where it gets a little wild. So then the cameraman gets involved here. He starts targeting the camera guy, And it feels like I'm playing a first-person video game here. It was like I was in the driver's seat for a minute, and he was like calling me out. It's like, what? You're gonna hurt my feelings? I don't even eat at KFC, bitch. I think Popeyes is significantly better. What, you want to fight about it, pussy fart? You know, I just felt like kind of, you know, in the moment, like attached to it. Things got intense for a second. And then he picks somebody else. He's really just on stage to make everyone mad at him and hopefully force a fight to maybe sue them. Like, I don't know what the strategy is, to be honest, but that's like the only thing I can almost rationalize. At this point, it sounds like he's about to start crying and run away. But what if I told you, we're just barely over the halfway point, baby? Like, we're only in like the second quarter here. God damn it. We're just getting warmed up, really. He hasn't even got to his best material yet. Right now, you're just getting appetizers and stimulating your appetite. And he's ready to close it here with the main course coming up. He's getting really upset at the crowd, you know, like, why are they being mean to me? I was only insulting them and calling them fat and saying women suck. Why is everyone not my friend?
Yes, supporting real comics. I didn't know you were going to be here.
Cut out a lot of it, but he just starts arguing with the camera guy and a couple other people. He's literally just arguing, and it's not really fun to listen to. It's just uncomfortable. Like, it makes me like squirm in my seat. So I just cut a lot of that out, and I'll just give you the tail end here. And it's still awful. Like, the whole thing is truly miserable. It's just like a 2-minute argument that he gets into with people that are just there that were to enjoy comedy. He just starts arguing with, and that's where it wraps up. A legendary performance. It ends a bit aggressively, yeah, for sure. But goddamn, what a journey, what a ride. I imagine he had to have left immediately after that set. There's no way he went back in the audience. There's no fucking chance he went back into the audience. His friends must have just deleted his number and pretend they never knew him. They just called him a taxi and got him the fuck out and forgot about him forever. Like, there is no way you come back from that in that group of friends that saw it. It's not possible. No matter how drunk you are, that is a disaster that ruins relationships. Like, God, goodness gracious. What in tarnation must have went wrong, what went awry to allow for such a catastrophe to occur at such an innocent comedy bar? Ugh. But man, what a great video we have. I just wanted to share that. That is, without a doubt, like the hardest comedy video to sit through that I know of, that I've personally seen. I think it's worse than the Biceps Comedian and the City Council one. I know I say a lot, like I exaggerate a lot, like this is the worst stand-up comedy ever, but I do think of all of the ones I've seen, this one is perhaps the worst. And that's about it. So yeah. When you hear the term risk taker or daredevil, you typically think of someone skydiving, base jumping, free climbing a huge fucking mountain, stating their opinion on Twitter. These are typically what people think of, but for me, I think of stand-up comedians. I think there's no bigger risk than risking the eternal embarrassment and sleepless nights going through a bombed set of stand-up comedy. I feel like when you go up on stage as a stand-up comedian and your shit is not landing, you know, you go up there, hey, what's the deal with penis, huh? And dead silence, there's nothing quite as heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, or devastating. Like, just imagine how horrible that must be. Volunteering to go up on stage to try and make people laugh, but nobody's fucking laughing, and God forbid someone's heckling, maybe someone even says boo. Oh, boo would just ring in your ears for life. It'd be like tinnitus, but if it was constantly insulting you and reminding you of the worst moment in your fucking life, make you want to cut your ear off like Ludwig von Beethoven. So I think stand-up comedians are big risk takers, and today I want to show you a man that laid it all on the line to deliver stand-up comedy at the worst possible place for it, a city council meeting.
Hey, I'm Uriah. It was really awkward doing the Pledge of Allegiance because I'm Canadian, so I kind of went with it. I did vote in the last election, even though I'm Canadian. I'm like, let's see what happens. If a Russian can vote, why can't I, right?
Introducing our anime protagonist here, this is Uriah. He posted this video himself, so there's definitely a level of self-awareness here, though I can't imagine this is how he wanted the set to go, just getting fucking ass blasted by silence. Like, I swear to God, this video is more quiet than the time Squidward went to that place to be all alone in SpongeBob. It's rough. His first joke kind of resonates with the crowd. You heard a few giggles, a couple chuckles, maybe even a little knee slap somewhere in the back. But from there, it's all downhill.
Being from Canada, I'm not used to the sun, you know? So it's just sitting there, you know, on the bench, sweating, Sweating like a Republican applying for food stamps.
The way that he's looking around the room, scanning everyone's face, trying to find even the faintest smile at his jokes is actually heartbreaking. It is absolutely pulling on my heartstrings. It's like when a kid and his mom gets separated at a grocery store, so the kid starts panicking and he's like frantically looking for his mom through the aisles, just looking for this glimmer of hope, like, where is she? Like, it's actually sad. It looks like the fucking John Travolta meme where he, like, looks around and confused, like, oh, well, you know, why is no one laughing? It's a bad location for it, but I at least admire the fucking fat nutsack on this guy to come here and try. Obviously, I think the intention here was to have a viral video, or at least a headline saying something like, City Council meeting in Santa Barbara gets pushed off the rails as the members erupt into fits of laughter when the goofy Uriah comes in with a side-splitting comedy routine. These City Council members were expecting to tackle heavy subject matter today, such as picking up your dog's shit on the sidewalk, when all of a sudden, Uriah hit him with a stand-up routine. I imagine that's probably what he envisioned here, but unfortunately we don't live in that multiverse where that actually happened. Instead, we live in this fucking cursed universe where Uriah went in there and it fell flat on its fucking ass.
I never have issues parking. I don't know. I feel weird. I can always park. I went down to Las Vegas to be part of the, you know, the Blue Man Group. And then my car broke down. They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. In this case, it was my car in my dreams. Because, see, I had AAA, but, you know, I'm from Canada, right? So I had the Canadian version. It's when 3 Canadians get out and fight over who's going to help you. AAA.
He's starting to find his zone a little bit. He's hitting joke after joke. A full combination blow here of comedy, but no one really seems to appreciate it there, except for the guy behind him who's got a smile on his face. Though it's hard to know if he's smiling at the jokes or the very uncomfortable situation that is spawning in the room. It's hard not to admire the confidence it took to do this, but if you're gonna step into the Thunderdome here, you gotta have some fire material so you don't end up with a situation like this. You know, hit him with the old City Council, more like Titty Council, honk honk. That gets him every time. That puts some smile on those faces, I'll tell you what. And you get him with like a classic. What did my butthole say when I put a finger in it? Nothing. It couldn't talk. It's a butthole, idiots. Stupid face. Yeah, that would slay at the city council, I bet. So, you know, that'd be my advice to any future city council comedians. Just make sure your material is top notch. Like, these aren't robots. They're soulless, sure, but you know, there's still some human emotion somewhere deep in there. And I'm sure if you just tickle the right spot on them, they'd laugh. You just got to make sure the material's good enough.
I've never had more respect for city council than what you guys probably are feeling right now with me talking. I am American. I didn't commit voter fraud. That was a joke. Just to clear things up with the gentleman in the back, the police officer.
I'm glad we set the record straight there. It would have actually been pretty top-tier comedy if he actually did get carried away in handcuffs because they thought he did commit voter fraud. That would have been pretty wild and wacky. I don't know what's going on with the guy behind him that's not smiling. He looks very curious. He looks like an undercover police officer in a sting operation. I don't know why throughout this entire video he's been like analyzing Uriah so thoroughly, hanging on every word. I'm just saying his attentiveness is concerning.
I work in the funk zone and I hate it. Everyone asks me, is this the funk zone? Yes. Jeez. Have any of you guys rode the Greyhound before? The Greyhound is the Cards Against Humanity of travel. You just never know if you're gonna get stabbed, am I right? Ah.
I've never rode the Greyhound, so I don't know.
I'm wasting my time thinking. People don't think anymore. I'm like a live Twitter feed at this point. You know what I mean? I was watching. No, I wasn't.
Mr. Westman, thank you
That's
so
my
much.
time. Hey.
No, that's thank you.
All in all, it definitely could have been worse. He could have been arrested. Meteor could have hit the city council. I mean, there's definitely worse things that I could imagine happening there. But this was pretty bad. That's definitely in like the top 5 of the all-time worst things that could happen, shy of like an apocalyptic event localized entirely to that city council headquarters. It was rough. It definitely was rough, but I will say he at least ended on a banger with the I was watching, no I wasn't. For a moment there, he was gonna go for something else and said, it's just not fucking worth it. You know, let's just pump the brakes right now. I'm not even gonna bother. So I don't know what the fuck he was watching or wasn't watching, but he left it on a cliffhanger. And that's how you do it right there. Pretty good, all things considered, I'd say. That's about it. See ya. I've been seeing a lot of people posting shitty stand-up comedy on Twitter over the last week or so in some kind of contest to see who can find the worst stand-up comedy humanity has to offer, and I figured I might as well just swoop in here and win the whole competition here and show you the shittiest stand-up comedy you'll probably ever see. I swear to God, this shit is so bad. If your drunk uncle went up on an open mic stage and started denying the Holocaust, you would get more laughs out of that than what you're about to see. It's truly terrible, and I thought maybe this could serve as maybe a confidence booster to any aspiring stand-up comics who may feel a little insecure about their material. At least you'll know you'll never be at rock bottom, you will never be as bad as this guy, because this guy's got that title by the fucking nutsack with an iron grip.
Whatchamacallit? Everyone remembers their parents, what they used to do to them when they were little kids, right? When they were little kids, they used to do bad things. Remember what your parents used to do, right? My mom would be like, I'm gonna get the fucking belt, right? And when we were kids, we were always rebels, right? We always said, I always tried to mock my mother. I'm like, I'm gonna get the fucking belt, and right?
Unfortunately, we missed the introduction, but I imagine it was a lot like SpongeBob SquarePants during the comedy night, you know? Have you ever noticed salt shakers? I mean, what's the deal with airline food? So it is a bit sad that we've missed out on that, but at least we're going to catch the tail end of his performance here, and let me tell you, it's one for the history books. I don't know the comedian's name here, but he looks like Sid from Toy Story, and he's here to deliver a show that's about as entertaining as watching your apartment get set on fire.
And she'd go get it, and I'd fucking jolt right away. I'm jolting. And when you were a kid, you always thought that you can outrun your parents, too. Wasn't that the fact, too? But you quickly figured out that you could not outrun your parents. So I'm running faster than a black man with a stolen VCR, right? And she turns into a cowboy, and her belt is her whip. She's right away. This is where you give up.
He shouldn't have waited until he was face down on the floor. He should have given up long before getting to this point in his comedy act. If you can even call this a comedy act, it's basically just watching somebody ruin all potential job opportunities for themselves, and you get a front row seat to it.
This is where you give up. So you start saying, I'm not going to put the dog in the dryer again, I promise. She's dragging me off like chainsaw with my legs in the back. Oh man, everyone knows what their parents do. Come on, dickheads.
He's beginning to realize that nobody is even so much as giving him a pity giggle at anything he's saying, and he's getting a little frustrated, calling everyone there a dickhead. I'm sure this routine absolutely slayed with his fraternity brothers after butt-chugging 15 Miller Lights during initiation, but in the real world, I genuinely can't imagine anyone finding this shit in... Wow. Even the weather gods hate this routine so much that they're lashing out in pain and agony. I swear, there wasn't even a fucking cloud in the sky when I started this, but the second he began delivering his terrible routine here, it became like a biblical storm outside.
Get him! What the fuck are you saying? Hey, gay! No, seriously.
So you can't understand gay people?
No, I don't. I seriously don't. Because what makes you, like, let's say for a gay guy, what makes you say, oh, I just want to suck a cock?
Yeah, so the guy's homophobic and extremely insecure, getting very upset when he gets heckled, and heckling sucks, yeah, but this guy absolutely deserved it and more. And for somebody who doesn't understand sucking a cock, he really went up on stage and sucked a lot of dicks.
Seriously, what makes you get, huh?
Oh my God. I like to suck cock.
What?
I like to suck cock.
How does that signify that you're gay? You're not.
I don't know. You just said, how do you like to suck cock?
I'm saying if you were a guy, you have to pay attention to dumb fucking blonde.
You can hear the anger start building up inside of him. His voice is getting a bit shaky. He's fighting the urge to throw a full-blown temper tantrum and start crying. However, I will give credit where credit is due. I'm extremely impressed he didn't prematurely ejaculate into his jeans once this girl said penis out loud.
It doesn't matter. Look at you, you're blonde, you're dumbass. That's it. Blonde dumbass.
This guy thinks and speaks like a caveman. Blonde equal dumb. Dude came out here after murdering 5 tubs of hair gel, making sure his hair could stand up for this train wreck of a performance, and now his fragile ego is getting hurt on stage, and he's not too happy about it.
Thank you for reminding me. I met a girl one time, and I asked her what her name was, and she said Dolphin. Okay? She said Dolphin. Wait, you said I met a girl? Look at my fucking bicep! You think I can't meet a girl?
He's getting defensive now. He's showing weakness. The football team threw him up against the lockers and now they're all making fun of him. So he's going through the 5 stages of grief. Denial, biceps, 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 and biceps. This is actually how I find this guy whenever I want to rewatch this once every couple years. I just type in biceps comedian because he's the only guy dumb enough to start talking about his fucking biceps like this. And you can really just see that that comment really struck a nerve deep within him. I imagine he doesn't talk to many girls, so a girl saying that to him was just a devastating blow. So now he's resorting to his muscles that he's worked so hard chugging creatine daily to achieve.
Oh my god. Anyway, before I snap and start throwing stools all over the place, I'm gonna leave. Thanks. That's nice.
And thus concludes the stand-up routine. Any comedian compared to this guy is going to look like Dave Chappelle or Norm Macdonald. This guy sets the bar so incredibly low that you could never go beneath it, I imagine. At least it would be a very tough achievement to pull off, I would say. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. So yeah, here's a little touching story for all of you from my past. I believe this was in my freshman or sophomore year of high school. And, you know, puberty was coming in full swing. My body was changing. I was getting hair on my nutsack, my butthole. My height really wasn't changing. I've pretty much been short my whole life. 5'6" has pretty much been my max level cap. Hopefully soon there'll be a new patch or a new expansion set to this godforsaken world where they can increase my height without having to obliterate my fucking legs in some back alley meth lab. But anyway, that's not really part of the story about me being short. Anyway, I was going through a really hard porn addiction phase. I was an absolute porn fiend. And one day before class, I wanted to see some vagina. I wanted to ejaculate. I wanted to just bust a nut real hard before class. But I couldn't. I watched a lot of porn for the better part of 25 minutes, which for me was a bender and a half. Usually I would have come 3 times during that period back then. But on this cursed day, my well was dried up and I had no more semen left to give my boxers. It's also worth noting as an important detail, during this time, I never needed to jerk off. I never even knew how. I'd always just ejaculate after getting an erection, and sometimes I'd try different techniques like slapping it around or something to see if that helped the sensations or anything, but I never really jerked off. That's the point here. I could ejaculate using just the power of my intellect and euphoric gamer senses. I was able to just propel cum when I was stimulated visually or mentally. Alright, so now take that little nugget of wisdom and put it in your back pocket and save it for trivia night. It's going to play a major role in the plot a little further down the line in this story. So I wanted to stay home and just ejaculate because I thought something was wrong with me. I thought my dick stopped working or God banned me from ejaculating. I just thought something was awry and I wanted to stay home, but my parents wouldn't let me because that day we had a school play to perform. It was Hamlet and I was playing the role of fucking P. Diddy. Who's the character with the P in his name? Palpatine? Jesus, it's definitely not fucking Palpatine. I'm not playing Chancellor Palpatine or anything like that. It's like Polonius. I was playing Polonius, and he gets stabbed, and I guess that's like crucial to the story maybe. So I couldn't miss it. My parents didn't want me to miss it. They'd already planned on going to see it, so I couldn't skip school that day to ejaculate. Plus, that's not exactly a strong reason. I was very forward with why I didn't want to go to school. I was telling my parents, look, I just want to come. No sane parent's gonna be like, you know what, that's a good excuse, Harold, let's not send him to school today. So I get sent to school, I go through school per usual, and the play was supposed to take place right after school ended. So, I was able to push back the desire to ejaculate and all that for the entire school day and up till the play, and I was rehearsing my lines or my actions. And all of a sudden, all at once, it was like a light switch went off. It was like I was having a fucking Jimmy Neutron brain blast in like the costume room, and all I was seeing was porn. Like my eyes just rolled into the back of my head, and all I was looking at was porn. Like I was Professor Xavier who just jacked into Cerebro, and I was seeing all of the porn that I'd ever seen in my life all at once. And I got hard as a fucking rock. And I knew that was dangerous because, like I said earlier, I never needed to like physically stimulate myself to ejaculate. So I'm sitting there in my Polonius costume on the verge of just blowing a hard load into it right before going on stage, and I'm panicking because we're about to perform this play and I have some shit I gotta do in the play. Like, I'd hate to be the guy that gets stabbed in the play, the curtain rolls back, and then all of a sudden I'm just laying on the floor with a boner and a wet spot in front of the whole school and all the school's parents. That'd be terrifying for all of them and myself. So I'm trying to brainstorm ideas. I didn't want to just go blow a load into the toilet because that thought never really occurred to me then. So my plan was to just start chugging water as quickly as I could and just try and pee out my erection. I thought that would work if I just kept urine flowing the best I could. I only had like T-minus 20 minutes till showtime, so I killed like 2 water bottles and the plan worked. I was able to like basically piss out all of my boner, and I was able to perform the play the best I could. But the lesson here is no half measures. If you feel like you need to ejaculate, then fucking do it. Get it out of the way because you never know when it might come back to haunt you. You might be in the middle of a school play and then all of a sudden you're spitting out baby gravy into your costume and trying not to cry in front of the whole class. Just don't edge for like 9 hours. Just get it done, get it over with, and then be productive for the rest of the day. That's the lesson. I guess the lesson is quite literally jerk off if you need to. That's it. See ya. You're about to witness the world's worst funeral speech. Now let me go ahead and catch you up to speed. This is the part of the funeral where the relatives and the close ones are sharing stories about the deceased. In this video, the deceased is an Asian lady, and storming down the aisle like a fucking running back in the NFL is this Orville Redenbacher looking motherfucker who's about to share the most cold-hearted, most inappropriate, and awful funeral speech in the entire world. He just verbally sharts out pure filth. This man really tries to put the fun in funeral.
And I can't tell you how touched I am by the thoughtfulness and the depth of what you said. I mean, it's really touching. I hope nobody takes offense at this, but I'm not affected by this, but I see that the smoke in the church, in the Asian churches, is so prevalent that I gag when I go inside.
Yeah, I hope nobody takes offense to this, but go fuck yourselves. I hate all of you. When I come in here, I want to gag. You all make me physically ill and should be ashamed of yourselves. I love how he starts this with, I'm not affected by this. What a sociopath. Yes, I'd like to make it very clear, I'm not affected by this. Do you think I care? If you think I care, then you're fucking stupid. I don't give a shit. You think I give a shit about this? She's gone. Doesn't matter. You know what does matter? The incense smoke in this church. It's overwhelming and unreasonable. Really, it's the optimal time for a PSA here, and I'm glad that he was able to step up and be the hero he needed to be and say what needed to be said. The most important part of every funeral is the PSA portion.
And I'm not sure if this is a factor, but I think it is a factor. And I believe it is a factor.
My favorite type of argument is the same kind of shit you hear from the anti-vaccination crowd. I believe they cause autism, thus that's better than the facts. This man just coming up there, yes, well, I think it's a factor, but what's important is I believe it's a factor, so it is a factor. Thus, in conclusion, the incense smoke in this church causes autism, and my base set 1 Shadowless Charizard card is worth at least $2,000, and I'll settle for not a penny under.
In this woman's plight and stress and fight for her life, which I know she did because she loved her family. I can tell from listening to you. So I'm proud to be here. It's really an honor. My girlfriend, I just came with my girlfriend. I don't know anybody here.
Well, now the cat's out of the colonoscopy bag. He doesn't know anybody here. He wasn't even invited. This senile old man just wandered in here with his girlfriend. And then he took this entire funeral service and made it all about him. I can't stand people like that, and I'm sure everyone out there knows somebody that takes every situation, every story, and then makes it about themselves, have to interject themselves into everything for no reason. Those kind of people are the human equivalent to the sesame seeds you find on your shit after eating a hamburger. I will say though, I respect that he's here with his girlfriend. This man has to be in his 70s and he's still slaying pussy. Probably met her on Tinder. This man is getting some fine punani, I imagine.
I don't know your mother. I remember, I forget her name, but I know she's a good friend of mine. This woman here is a good friend of mine, my girlfriend. And Apple had some remorse that she wasn't able to come the other day, but
There's an interesting strategy. Just start mumbling nonsense so no one can tell just how disrespectful you're being, pretending to know people there, pretending to know the deceased lady. Cryptocurrency is really starting to take off. The Litecoin prices have started to really steadily increase, which is really nice. Tom Brady threw for another touchdown last week, which is really good for my fantasy football team.
anyway. I hope what I've told you about the smoke in the church is not taken in offense. I mean, it's your culture. But it's so strong. I'd like to see an effort to change that, because I think it's a risk.
Thank you very much.
Damn, it's a shame they cut him off before he got to Act 2 of his PSA speech. He was just about to get to the really juicy stuff about unprotected sex. I like how once again he reiterates that he means no offense when he says that he doesn't like their culture and all the smoke, and he thinks that they are all putting themselves at risk and thus himself at risk, which is why he felt the need to go up there and make a statement about it. But anyway, there it is. There's how to properly deliver a funeral speech that's sure to make the deceased roll over in their grave. See ya.